Over to me. Hey, we are back in the building.
We are
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, if you don't know already, you must live under a rock because this podcast is one of the hottest when we talking about love, life, and relationship. This is Shift Real Talk. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, under Shift Real Talk TV. Don't forget the TV. Now, what we desire always, we want to help people in their marriages. We have had some bumpy roads, some rocky spots, some oof. But with the tools that we have learned, we have built an amazing relationship, amazing friendship, and we want to share that with the world. So don't forget to subscribe and send this to your friends. Get in them chats and let's real talk about it. Make sure you respond to what we talking about. Give your little comments because we talking back. And we are on every podcast platform so you can listen while you work. Y'all, today is going to be a hot topic. It's going to be sizzling. I'm your girl, Lady Free.
I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And I'm Zany. Yeah.
With the high notes. And this podcast is about broken promises. How many of you know about that? Broken promises.
Oh
my goodness. For somebody to be shy singing.
Check her out.
Well, I didn't say.
Kiss FM 101.2.
Okay. 2.35 now.
101.12345.
But y'all, broken promises. Y'all, that's what we're talking about today. And I'm sure it's so many people out there in our village, our community that knows about broken promises.
Yes, we do.
It's a lot that happens when people break promises. It's stuff I didn't even know was a factor, because Pastor J, okay, so and Zany, when somebody breaks a promise, I mean, of course you feel disappointed. You like, I can't trust them. But it's so much deeper than that. And we're going to get into it. So like I said, this is going to be a sizzler.
Well, even before you get into it, right? What is a promise? When somebody promises you something, what is that?
It's their word.
It's their word.
It's their word, like seed. It's something that when they speak, it brings life to an imagination. It brings life to a vision, a thought. Mm-hmm. It brings life to something that you probably didn't even expect. But now that they said it, it's an expectation that it will come to pass. And all of this stuff happens in your mind with a promise. A seed is planted in your heart. It's like, oh my God.
Hey, Aunt Liza.
Like that.
I just want to say hey to Aunt Liza. She tuned in. She said hello.
Hey, Aunt Liza.
So you see, we got my cowboy hat on, Aunt Liza. No matter what, let's go.
So yeah, that's what a promise is. Something spoken that should be carried out. Mm-hmm. It's your word.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Is it as close to a covenant agreement? Is it close to that? You know what I'm saying?
A promise?
Yeah. Could it be compared to that?
Because covenant agreement to me, it's a little more than a promise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more than a promise.
Okay.
That have stuff to do with God at that point, the spiritual life, a realm that everybody don't live in. So when it comes to the covenant, that's for us, that's for God's people. But when it comes to a promise, anybody can make a promise, and anybody can break a promise.
So come on, let's get into it.
All right, y'all, we finna rock and roll. So we have five discussion worthy, real talk, raw down to the nitty gritty, to the bone topics, points that we're going to be talking about today. These are 5 things that we did not know, or we knew, we just couldn't put our finger on what it was, that happens when people break promises. I have to say this. So that's that thing when you wonder why you can't trust him like you want to, but you can't. Or anyway, let's get into it. It's not gonna go there, baby. Number 1. All right, y'all listen to this, and then when cause y'all so deep with it, when y'all hear this first point, we're gonna discuss what it is that you got from it. Okay. A broken promise is a breach of trust, not just a missed action. When a promise is broken, the deepest wound isn't disappointment, it's betrayal. Trust is built on consistency. And once it's fractured, people begin questioning everything. They begin questioning their words, their motives, and even their own discernment. I lost my headphones behind that one. So, talk about it. It's not just a breach in trust, but it's a missed action.
Well, I'll start off.
All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
When you are in a broken place, you can be in a broken place of abandonment, really not sure of your, what you call it, insecurity, have a very low security, very low insecurity, very low self-esteem. These are broken issues. So promises, or somebody who actually agrees to interact with you, or agrees or to do something for you, or to do something with you, that is magnified, and it touches those broken places when you are in a broken place. Because if you were truly healed from those broken places, then you don't really hold pat to somebody saying they're going to do something and they don't do it, because you actually really in a place to think for them. Well, maybe they got busy, or maybe they forgot, or maybe it's a situation where, something could have happened, and I know they get around to it, when they get around to it. But if you are not in that place, then that is an endearment of a reminder of when I was little and I was told I was going to get picked up and I didn't, and you remind me of me not being picked up, and you not going to do that, and I ain't going to trust nothing you say, or what I'm saying. So it hits those places. So I think it's worse for people who are not healed, who are not facing these issues, so that they don't get so easily discouraged, or easily to the point where that comes what was the word you said? Betrayal. Yeah, you won't feel betrayed when somebody does something, because you not at that place.
Okay.
I think you went way past what she was talking about. Like, let's go back to the onset. You're not broken on the onset of a broken promise.
Right.
Like, first of all, the first person who promised you something and failed you, you got to think about it. It was a safe place.
Right.
It was a safe place. It was somebody you trusted. It was somebody that you did not think was going to let you down.
Exactly.
So you wasn't broken. You were whole. But then here's this person who, and I'm going to speak for myself. It started with my father. And this is not to talk bad about my father, because we had a great relationship before he passed away. But when I was a kid, he broke a lot of promises to me. And it broke me every time he did. But every time he made a promise, I trusted that he would come through. So out of my brokenness, he didn't touch a spot. He just over and over kept proving to me why later on in life, I have to look at promises. For me, I took that and I hold, if I promise you something, if it kills me, I'm going to get it done. I don't look outwardly. That actually did something to me internally to make sure that I never break a promise to a person, because I never want to make a person feel how I felt every time that promise was broken. So on the onset, you're not a broken person.
That's what I was about to say too. I think that you went past, like you went to the place of once a person is broken, because you did say, I think it's worse. So you did say that, but the broken promise is the one that broke you. It's the one that shattered your heart to pieces. The very first time you felt, you know how a lot of times counselors or therapists say, tell me when it's the first time you felt
Correct.
disrespected or the first time you felt disappointed. So that's the moment that has the most impact. Everything else is like the thing that continues to make little smashes in what's already broken.
So
Right.
I hear what both of you saying, and that's the whole point of discussing and delegating these points. The impact,
Delegating these points.
Yes.
These are deep.
the impact that a broken promise has, whether it's one time, whether it's 20 times, whether it's 4 times, it still has the same effect. It has the same effect. It causes an impact. It causes some type of disappointment. And but is even worse though. To me, it's even worse when it's a continuous level of disappointment. But still, when you even if you have to go back to that first level of disappointment, it still now raises an antenna. No matter at what point it happens, it's still that level of disappointment. And guess what? If that disappointment is not dealt with, if it's not dealt with, then what does it cause? It causes an impact on now when you are in certain situations and somebody promised you something, you know what you're looking at? You're going back and you're referring back to the first time it happens. So this referral, again, and that's coming from that broken place. Because if you, like I said, and I'm only saying this because I've experienced this, until I had to truly heal. Trust me, I was that kid who was disappointed. I was that kid who was let down, and it caused me anger. And at the end of the day, it was so bad to me until it was like I didn't keep my word because nobody cared about how I feel.
Right.
So why should I care? You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about how I feel. And trust me, it's not saying what y'all saying is not true.
Yeah.
But there are different levels to this, and there are different situations that causes that some people really, it affects them really at a point where it damages them and they're broken.
Right. And the thing is, it goes past disappointment. Usually, if somebody breaks a promise and you know you broke a promise, you think the person just disappointed. But what you don't realize is when that promise is broken, whether it's the first or the 50th time, it's a betrayal. It's a breach in trust. Something happens to your subconscious mind. Something happens to you emotionally. It says it's a betrayal. That's so much deeper than just, oh, she just disappointed. Oh, I know you're disappointed right now because your daddy didn't come. No, it's more than a disappointment. I don't think we really understand how serious, how deep of a root that betrayal is in the tree of your life. You know what I mean? So because we don't understand how serious it is, we frivolously break promises, and it's like, well, they'll understand, or I'll just explain why, and we'll just keep it moving. But you can't keep that person who was expecting that to happen, the thing that you said, that person can't just keep it moving because there's something that happened. And it says trust is built on consistency. So if there's a breach in the trust, you can't keep making the same mistakes and coming up with all these excuses and reasons and thinking that person's gonna trust you again. Now you mad because nobody don't trust you. Well, you made that bad if you're the person that frivolously comes out of your mouth and makes all these promises to the point where people just automatically know they can't trust you.
Yes.
And that's the thing, right? Because though even the word says all a man has is his word, right?
Right.
So people thinking that when I promise that, like you just said, oh, they can get over it. No, you gave them your word, and that's
Your
all you
word.
have.
So
So I'm standing on your word, and then you took your word back. You was an Indian giver. You gave it to me, and you took it back, and then you told me get over it.
Yeah.
So I want to ask
not
y'all a
fair.
question. I want to ask y'all a question.
Yeah.
Wait, hey, Patricia. Good evening to you.
Hey, Patricia.
Liza said it depends on the promise. It just depends on your level of expectation. Hey, Dad, how you doing?
Hey,
and
Dad.
Patricia said can't trust them anymore. You come out on the person and get disappointed. Hey, Dad, what's up? So here's the thing. I want to ask y'all a question. So because I look at it, Eliza said it depends on the situation, right?
Depends on the
And I've seen some situations where there were small little verbiages where you said, "Hey, I'm gonna bring you something from the store."
Right.
Something as small as that. And when you don't and you forgot to bring the piece of candy that you said that you was gonna bring to the store, and that person is so disappointed that they didn't get that candy.
Because it's not just
I
about that
understand, but
candy.
what state of mind, what state of are you in your heart that is a big disappointment?
Okay, let me explain. It says
That's my question.
that once your a promise is broken and once that betrayal happened, a fracture happens. So when that fracture happens, that's when people start questioning everything. Why didn't they come? Is something wrong with me? It's like all of these questions now start. So now if you have somebody, even if it's a small promise, some people get upset about that because it's not about the small or the big of the promise. It's about the fact that once again, I trusted you. If I can't trust you with the little things, I definitely will not trust you with bigger things because I'm fractured like a glass that you glue back together with super glue, but some places still have little seeps and little holes in it.
Yeah.
And you pour and it just spills out over the sides. It's fractured. It's a real thing that just happened in your heart.
Absolutely.
And I
Darren
want you to
asked-
look at it like this too, Pastor Jay. Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No,
I
no,
want
go
you.
ahead, go
I
ahead.
want you to look at it like this. I want you to look at it like this too. So we as humans, we always want to look on the outside, right? That's why God in His Word says He look at the heart of man, and we, man look on the outward appearance.
Mm-hmm.
So we may see that it's just a candy, but whoever it is may look at that candy like, oh my God, they saw my want, they saw my need, they
Yeah.
saw me,
Yeah.
and they're going to buy this candy, and that's going to touch my soul. I remember um when me and my first husband had separated. I came to visit Georgia at the time. I was in Virginia. I came to visit Georgia, and he popped up at the church I was at, and I was like, I didn't know it was all over my body that I felt some kind of way. But the first lady of that church went and bought me a Dr. Pepper, a Dr. Pepper,
Diet was it
and
diet?
she no, and she came and bought me that Dr. Pepper, and I don't know what it was about that Dr. Pepper. I promise y'all that Dr. Pepper touched my soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Wow.
but wait, here is the thing though. That Dr. Pepper to this day, here I am telling this years later. That's how much that Dr.
Right.
Pepper impacted me. You hear what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm.
So you looked at it as a candy. Just like somebody else might say, girl, a Dr. Pepper? Yes. That Dr. Pepper healed me in that moment. So we can't look at the outward appearance of that candy because you never know what it's doing on the inside for that person.
Or how small of a promise, because just because it's small to you doesn't mean it's small to the person that's looking forward to what you said you are going to do.
So Darren, what's up, Darren Phillips, man?
Hey,
God bless
Darren.
you. We love you, man, and miss you. He said, are these promises as a child or as an adult?
Both.
They both.
They started,
Yeah.
the foundation of your broken house came from a childhood. And now everything that you build on that broken foundation is falling apart based on what you experienced then. So that the adult house that you built still has a broken foundation.
Yeah. I believe Aunt Liza agreed with you too, Mia, Jane. Yeah, she said it's because they were in expectation for the candy, but that's not going to stop them from asking for the same piece of candy a different day.
Right.
Hey, Sister Cheeks, Mama Cheeks.
Hey, Mama Cheese.
She said, yes, but love covers a multitude of sins. Yes, I know it may hurt, but how great is your love? Come on here. The woman of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The woman of
so
God.
so think about this. On the first thing, when the promise is broken, is a breach of trust. Think about this. This is when the person, if you're with somebody and they're constantly questioning words, they're constantly questioning motives, they're even questioning their own discernment, then this is an opportunity for you to say, wow, okay, I see what that is. Somewhere along the line, maybe just maybe someone has broken promises or they felt a level of betrayal. Now you know what to go to God on their behalf for, instead of always getting upset because you feel like they're questioning you. Instead of internalizing it, say, wow, okay, I see what that is. So this is just one key to the car that we drive in today. If somebody is questioning your motives, your words, or even their own discernment, it could be a sign that they have felt betrayal in their life, whether it's childhood or adulthood. Okay.
Before you, I know you're moving on, but I want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Because Zania said, "You see my want, you see my needs."
Mm-hmm.
Here again is, I think y'all are going and saying what I'm saying, but it's confusing me a little bit because
Okay.
if I'm looking for somebody to fulfill or to see the void that I have inside of me, or not even the void, but if your promise or what you said was that detrimental to my need or to my want, again, that states where I am. What place are you that you have not created that level, or God has not created that level of fulfillment inside of you, that if they said it or if they didn't say it, or if they did it or they said it and they didn't do it, that it doesn't affect you as much.
Because
You understand what I'm
listen,
saying?
I get it. Think about, okay, like Darren's asked, is it childhood or adulthood? Let's go back to childhood. You are promised that on the weekend, if you do good in school all week, on the weekend, that you're gonna go, you and your parents are gonna go to the beach. You excited all week. You've been trying to do the best you can and everything. And when the weekend comes, they say, well, we not gonna go. We can't go. And it could be a very good reason why. That child's desire and thought and excitement and everything that they thought in their head about how it's going to be this weekend, we finally going to the beach and everything, is shattered in that moment. Now that brings a level of distrust. And it's not about that they don't trust God. It's just about that when God says life and death lies in the power of your tongue, I believe this is included. When you speak a word, it will either bring life, or it will cause death to something within that person's spirit and a soul.
Okay.
And I
Okay?
want to say, Pastor Jay, that's unfair too to look at it like that, because using my example again, I wasn't looking for anyone to do anything because I thought I was hiding, right? I thought I was
Mm-hmm.
hiding how I was feeling. But how does God use? Who does God use for people? He used people. That's why
Yeah.
He said, "Forsake not yourself to the assembling." Right? Don't
Mm-hmm.
forsake that, the assembling of yourself together, because He put people for people, which is why the body needs each other. So when you eliminate the body from being able to see or be used by God and just say it's just right here, that's unfair. Because sometimes we ourselves don't even know that we have that need to feel something
Mm-hmm.
from someone else. You get what
Yeah,
I'm
I get
saying?
you. I get you, but it still goes back to like how she said, if you was saying, well, we're gonna go to the beach, and my expectation for the
The
beach is,
expectation and
yes,
excitement.
I'm
Oh
going,
my
we going to
God.
the beach. And guess what happens when it's time
Yeah,
to go to the beach? You ain't got no money to take them. You ain't got no gas, which is a
Something
legitimate,
happened. Yeah.
something major happened. You will not understand that as a child, but as an
right.
adult who as an adult who has dealt with that as a child, then what you're going to do, that's going to be something detrimental to you. But if you dealt with that situation as a child coming into an adult and you dealt with it, it wouldn't bother, because you would understand. You understand
Okay,
what I'm
I
saying?
see what you're saying. So basically, you're saying if you dealt with it as a child and you've addressed it, you faced it, you sat in it, you
Yeah.
healed from it, then you won't feel as guilty when you break a promise for a good reason to a person who you're promising to.
Or vice versa. If it happens, then you'll be more understanding, as opposed to getting to that age and that happened to you
I
when you were a
disagree.
child. And
Yeah.
it happened to you when you was a child. If somebody promised you to do, it's going to affect you like you did when you was a child. It's going to
If
affect you
you're
the
still
same
dealing
way.
with it, I get it. I definitely understand what you're saying. So if you haven't healed from it as an adult, you'll still revert back to it, and they call it a trigger, or they call it repressed memory. Sometimes it's like you didn't know that still would hurt you until it happened to you again. But I just want to say that let's go on into the next point, because
Okay,
Okay.
hold on, Darren. I'm going to answer his question real quick. I want to tell that
okay.
Darren said, "Are broken promises always betrayal?" I believe it's one form of, because there's a
Well,
bunch of.
no, I don't think, Darren, to your question, I don't think that broken promises is always betrayal, but I do believe that you may not have meant to betray, but what happens within the person that's receiving the promise they feel betrayed. They feel, because it's like, this is what, and especially if you are a repeat offender.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you always saying, I'm trying, but your trying always come with a letdown. That the people, they feel the betrayal. Even if they love you so much as a kid, I love my, he probably didn't mean, but inside something still happened. Okay. So point number 2, let's keep it moving so we can get to this. I want to get to all 5. We may or may not. Anyway, number 2, broken promises teach people how to love with guards up. That one right there touched me.
Yeah, but
repeated. Hold on 1 second. I haven't finished.
No, okay.
Repeated disappointment. Now think about what it's saying, Pastor J. Don't just stay stuck where you at with the thought. Think about what this is saying. Okay, it's saying repeated disappointment, not just one time. Repeated disappointment reshapes the heart. People stop expecting. We can relate to that. People stop believing. People stop hoping. Because they don't want to get let down. Not because they're cold, but because hope has been costly. This is where armor forms and vulnerability, let me say that again, vulnerability feels unsafe. Where's the lie? There is none.
Yeah. But that ain't that going back saying what I'm saying though?
No, because that's what I was about to say. That's not going back. Because, okay, I agree with you that if you're still broken, then it hits harder. And it's going to hit faster. The
Faster and harder.
For me to shut down is faster. However, a healed person, when you have now into another relationship, and I'm not talking about like intimate, it could be father, daughter, whatever.
Yeah.
When you enter another relationship where you have a repeat offender, a healed person then will say, now it's not that I'm hopeless and that you could do better, but now I believe your actions more than your words. So because I believe your actions more than your words, then I have to move accordingly. Not because I'm trying to protect myself, but because the truth is in your actions, not in your words.
It is a form of protection because it's you setting boundaries. You know what? I hear what you're saying. However, until you do something to show that you will not continuously act, I'm not saying not to do what you want to do, but as for me, these are between this and this area in between here is a place that I know I'm safe. So if you continuously break promises, that's on you. But as for me, this is how I'm going to respond to you until I see a consistency in your desire not to just, because people that break promises repeatedly, that's either a habit they picked up or that's a hurting people hurts people situation. But people with integrity don't continuously say things and not do what they say they're going to do.
And just Darren, I hope, because she went into, Darren had said something, but point number 2, I believe, kind of stuck with what he was saying. But Elijah said broken promises isn't betrayal. Lying is betrayal. Broken promises is definitely a form of betrayal.
Yeah.
So there's not just one level of betrayal. You can feel betrayed by, and it can kind of line up, because if you don't keep your promise or your word, you can either be like you're lying. You said that you was going to do something.
That is, right. It's one and the same, I believe, on lies.
Yeah, so it kind of lines up in the same, you lied to me or such and such. So that's what it goes back to. But again, like both of y'all said, I believe both of y'all said this, it's the consistency of your actions. So a lot of times it's the behavior that comes with the words. So you can have a bunch of lip service and say, I'm gonna do, and you become a human doing. But if this is something like Zania said earlier, she said because she was betrayed and she knew how it felt being betrayed, she made it her business to not make somebody have to feel the same thing I felt when it came to but when it came to when somebody saying they're giving me their word
Yeah.
that they was going to do something, so I know how it feels. So a lot of times I believe if we would really put ourselves in the situation of how it would make somebody feel, then we would be more amped to kind of making sure that our words are not coming back void,
Yeah.
or our words are not on empty
Same,
on
yeah.
empty promises. You know what I'm saying? So that it's
Right.
important that we do line up and understand what it could cause, because we were the ones that felt that way. And and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but especially as kids, and that's where it starts. It starts at a young age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It starts there.
Yeah.
And one thing we don't do is we don't even give them the explanation of why. You know what I'm saying? So we don't come back and deal with what happened. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, we think because they're kids that they're not going to understand. I said because I didn't do it. Okay, and you know what I'm saying? I'm the mother here, or I'm the father, and we make it worse by not dealing with it. Hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? Mom, something came up, mommy and daddy, we just wasn't able to do what we said we were going to do. But listen, we apologize for saying that, or that we're going to do it and not coming through with it. And I believe that allows them to at least get to the point where they're dealing with the disappointment and dealing with the betrayal. So we got to make it intentional.
But think about what point 2 is saying, though. It says broken promises teaches.
Yeah.
When you teach somebody something, you don't just say it to them one time. When you're teaching someone something, it's something that you're doing or saying over and over. It's something that they're learning, right?
Right.
So we're not talking about just, baby, mom and daddy didn't have it to go, but hopefully we'll be. And I think that you should do that. Not hyper. Don't overdo it. Like you got to explain everything. Not that. Find the balance. But what we're talking about, number 2, when the broken promises teach you how to love with guards up. Think about that little kid who is waiting for their father to come pick him up. And he's waiting. He got his bag packed. He's excited. In his imagination, he's about to have a ball this weekend. I'm finna go with my daddy. And he is super hyped and super excited. Like I remember my son would look out the window. My mom had this big window. He would look out the window and just be looking out the window, waiting. He would not leave that window. He'd just be waiting. And when his father didn't come, there was no explanation from his father. Of course, I gave him a reason. And that was for me, because I am a teacher at heart, a teachable moment to help him understand how to deal with disappointment. Mm-hmm. But that did do something to him. And it would have been worse if I would have allowed him to constantly subject himself to sitting at that window over and over. And now I'm teaching him to constantly allow people to be a repeat offender. Sometimes you just have to say, I can't allow you to do this or play this part in my life because it's unhealthy, not just for our relationship, but it does something to me every time. I trust you and I want to believe you, but you don't come through for me. You have to have a boundary. Right. You have to.
I am inclined to believe that if, and I'm just going back to just remember, like when you was talking about TJ, which is my son now. That's my son. Yeah. But anyway, I remember how abandoned it felt. I remember how, because it's not just disappointment. It's not just betrayal. It brings up a whole lot of other things. Am I even worthy? Like, or even you say, well, what did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then what you start doing is feeling you're the reason why they didn't show up.
Right.
So mentally there's a lot of things that play in your head from that one little, and it could be something small. And sometimes I understand. Sometimes as parents, life, and things come up, and you just and maybe you forget that you gave a promise to.
But people do what they want to do.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying sometimes that happens. But sometimes we're not mature enough to. This is what I'm going. Sometimes we're not mature enough to deal with it, to fix it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we just can't even face it because it's either we don't care or we don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Or we don't know how. But it does still causes those effects.
Yeah.
So and y'all may be right that I went a little, but I just know how I felt when certain things were told to me and it didn't happen. And because I was really busy, like I was busy with so much stuff as a child. I was in youth sports. I was a musician at a young age. So I had other things to occupy.
But it still didn't take away from the fact that you.
No, it didn't take away.
If your dad said he was gonna do something, it meant the world to you as a kid.
I mean, I remember one level. I remember one. It was just one really that disappointed me because I knew my situation was kind of different because it wasn't even the fact that my dad was not wanting to be there. He wasn't allowed to. You know what I'm saying? So
as a kid, you knew that.
Yeah, as a kid, I knew that because
You knew that as a kid.
Yeah, I knew that. No, he can't come pick him up. You know what I'm saying? No. Yeah, I knew that. Okay. So it was a lot of times it wasn't the fact that he.
So what did that do? What did that do for you towards your mom? Not towards your dad.
It wasn't my mom doing it. It was who she was with.
Okay, so what that made you feel towards that person?
Like I said, because I was in so much, I was busy. I had friends to occupy. So at the point it was just like, I'm going to do what I need to do. And it just happened that way. So it didn't bother me as much. It was only one time I was disappointed by my dad when it was my birthday. And I'll never forget that. He was coming to pick me up for my birthday to take me to the circus. And I thought it was, just me and my dad going. I'm going to spend time with my dad. Yeah. We going to circus. And he came with my cousin.
You thought it was just going to be you?
I thought it was going to be me and my dad. He came with my cousin. I said, all right, you know what? At least he came. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're going to go enjoy this one. Because my cousin's birthday was actually 5 days before mine. So,
But it's not just your dad that can disappoint you or break a promise, though, because you even stated earlier in this podcast that you said you had gone through that so much that you decided, forget this, I'm just gonna start breaking promises too.
Yeah, I did, but because this was all right. This wasn't the things that happened when I was a child, like because of my parents. This happened because of my parents. That what they were dealing with and how they were dealing with it, that was my level of disappointment. It wasn't so much of what they were telling me and promising me, it's what I saw. It was the damage that was caused to me out of what they were doing to each other and how it happened. So because of that disappointment, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, at that point now, my mom was like telling me, and this is where the disappointment came in. My mom was telling me it was just going to be me and her, you know what I'm saying? But then my sisters came. Then I had...
Of course.
Then I had sisters, you know what I'm saying? And then after that, it was like, dang, Ma, I thought it was just going to be me and you. You know what I'm saying? And then, this was what she told me. Yeah.
So you hear what I mean? You know what I just heard? Repetition.
Yeah.
Your disappointment came from you never having alone time. You thought it was going to be just you and your mom. It wasn't. You thought it was going to be just you and your dad.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was constantly not just you.
Us and everybody. Yeah, it wasn't just me. Exactly.
Let me speak to the relationships, y'all. When it comes down, because I hear people say, well, in my marriage or in my relationship, these are some things I experienced. So let me speak to that. When you're in a relationship, if you have people that have low expectations of you, they, like Zany said, they want to see your actions before. They don't care about what you say. A mouth will tell you anything. I want to see what you're gonna do before I believe you. They have no hope. It's like hope. They don't have that expectation. They stop hoping. They stop believing it because it messes with your belief system, your belief in people. When you're dealing with those type of things, it's not you. It's the thing that they have gone through that causes them to say, yeah, I don't have expectations for people because people are always letting me down, or I don't expect that. I don't expect nothing, for myself. So when you hear those things, then just know that it possibly could come from the fact that they were taught how to love with their guards up. It's like you're loving with armor on.
Isn't the expectation like an unhealthy boundary?
Well, no, it's not. Expectations are good. When someone says something, you expect them to do it. Correct? We're talking about promises.
Yeah.
So if you
Okay,
expect
I'm
them,
going off a situation in my head. That's
okay,
why.
because if you expect, if you tell me you're coming, Jesse, if you tell me you're coming and I'm expecting it, so guess what I'm doing? I'm getting ready. I'm doing my hair. I'm putting my makeup on. I'm getting ready because you said you were coming. If you don't show up, then guess what? And it could be a good reason. You got a client or you did this or you had to do this. But I have been put on limbo. I've been put on the waiting list, and you never got around to it. So now it's like, okay, so why you not ready? Well, because I had to make sure you were coming first before I decided to use some makeup that I'm just gonna wash off my face. Makeup is expensive. Or I wasn't trying to use product in my hair to do what I had to do. I wasn't trying to get dressed until I knew you were coming, because the expectation was you said you was coming, but you didn't come. And then you said you was coming, but you didn't come. And then you said and if that happens over and over again, then guess what? You're not gonna have me ready. Because when I did get ready, you didn't come.
Mm-hmm. Got you. I understand.
So I have an expectation, and now I don't, because not us, but I'm just saying now I don't have that expectation because.
Let's read this real quick. Patricia, she said, you will guard your heart and not open up because you don't want to get hurt. I wouldn't trust people as easily. You don't want to be hurt. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Eliza said, coming from a marital standpoint, constantly breaking promises and betrayal because you two look and love that person. You two look and love that person differently.
Okay.
You got it. I understand what she's saying.
Can I say something to that? Can I say something to what Patricia stated? It's 100% true that you end up guarding your heart, right? And actually, what you're doing, you're not guarding it; you're shutting it down. You are not allowing it to be vulnerable. But this is what over time I learned. After so much, I just started not trusting people. Period.
Right.
Because if after so many people let you down, you just get to the point where it's gonna take me a minute to trust people.
Right.
But I remember my mom had a conversation with me one time, and she said, Mia, everybody, every man on the face of this earth is going to disappoint you. Every last one. She say, even me. She say, even me. And I'm your mom. I'm going to disappoint you. And even the word of God tells you that man will fail you. Mm-hmm. When we realize that man, like setting boundaries is healthy. I'm not saying don't take away the boundaries, but shutting your heart down, not allowing people to gain trust from onset, because what that person did is not that person's fault. You have to allow yourself not to be wide open, but not to be shut down either, because every man will fail you.
Yeah.
And I had to learn that through my healing process. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all ready for number 3?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Before you got number 3,
okay.
I got you. I just want to say this real quick, because it's important that we truly understand beliefs, backgrounds, and beliefs.
Yeah, what is your belief about promises?
What is your belief? Because some people they have been taught a belief system. This is what we believe. We believe you keep your word. Mm-hmm. We believe you just make things happen. Mm-hmm. We believe you just make it, even if you ain't got to say nothing, you just keep doing what you got to do. We have to understand people's belief system and understand from their belief system, then you know how they think. Then you know how they move. You know how they communicate. You have a better understanding of who this person is.
Yeah.
So when you can understand what they believe, then your expectation for what you believe, if it doesn't line up with they believe, then you really know either can we meet in the middle with what you believe and how or me not trying to force uh you know
Right.
you know what I'm saying, me trying to force
My way onto you.
onto
Yeah.
what you should be doing because
Yeah.
this is what I believe. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah.
But again, she said communication is important, but
It
it's
is.
so important even before the communication that we understand who we're communicating with.
Absolutely.
Who is making these
Right.
promises, what they
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
So we got it. That is so
That's
important.
good.
That is so important.
Ooh-wee.
So this way you don't set yourself up for disappointment.
Right.
You don't set yourself up for an expectation
Right.
that will not be met because
Absolutely.
they don't even believe.
Right. Oh my goodness.
That's good.
That
Yeah.
That's
is
real
good.
Yeah.
Okay, that
'Cause
was
even in
worth
public-
holding off.
Because
Go
even in
ahead.
public speaking 101, what they tell you, the first rule is what? Know your audience.
Know your
Okay,
audience.
know your audience.
Exactly.
Okay. I was like, I don't know.
No, exactly. No, read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room. They teach you that.
Yeah.
Know what they-
those that labor
Yes.
among you.
Know
That's
those
the
that labor
word.
among you.
It's all full circle.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
because we set ourselves up.
Uh-huh.
We do. We set ourselves.
do.
Sometimes we set ourselves up for disappointment.
Right.
Because we are expecting it.
And we expect it from someone
And-
who don't even
yes.
believe
And-
that word is bond.
Exactly, and
They
then
may not even believe.
exactly,
You know.
and then we expect you to understand how I feel.
Yeah.
So it goes even deeper than that. Our
Yeah.
expectation. Well, you should know what I want, or you should know how I feel, or you should know if you tell me something that you know. Oh, you bet not, because
You
know.
might
So
be dealing with a person that's saying, I'm doing the best I can all the time. I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
the best I
I'm
can.
doing- yeah.
I'm doing the best.
I'm
and it's
trying.
like,
I'm
but
trying
you
to
keep
change.
breaking promises. If that's the best you
trying.
can, now you got to think about, okay, am I trying to get out of you something that's not in you?
But that's not. There you go.
I said it.
You said it.
I said it.
There you go. I'm expecting something out of you that's not even in you.
It's not there.
It's not there.
So we got to be careful who we give our vulnerability to, honey. The sacred spaces cannot go everywhere.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. I'm
so
sorry.
number 3. We may not even get to number 5 because we on number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all listen. This is a good one. Unkept promises create silent grief. Did not know that grief came with broken promises. Okay, let me break it down. There is grief in mourning what could have been. People don't just grieve the person. They grieve the future they imagined. The security they trusted. They grieve the version of themselves that believed wholeheartedly. Yo, if I am a person who is so innocent and I believe wholeheartedly, and next thing you know, someone comes along and shatters my wholeheartedness in my trust, I have to grieve that person because that person is never going to be the same. That person can be put back together with trusting and believing in God. But that innocent, wholeheartedly believing and trusting person is gone. And they have to grieve that, but we're not taught. You have to grieve the imagination that you thought, oh my God, my daddy coming to get me. It's just gonna be me and we gonna have a good time finally, just me and my dad. And next thing you know, it's you and your dad, 2 of your cousins and your uncle in the front seat because you thought you was gonna sit in the front seat. Your whole imagination of that day shattered just like that. You have to grieve that. You have to grieve that.
Yeah.
Wow, never thought about that.
Faded pictures and the broken glass.
Oh, you saw D. You saw D. He said faded pictures in a broken glass. Wow.
Faded pictures.
Okay, Zane, I have a question for you. It
For
says
me?
three.
Okay.
Yes, it says 3 things that person grieves. They grieve the future they imagined. They grieve security they trusted, and they grieve the version of themselves that believed wholeheartedly. Tell me what you hear.
The only thing that I keep thinking about, honestly, is that you have to allow grace for the person who offended, right?
Uh-huh.
I think I told the story before where it was Mother's Day and I went to church and the pastor said, today, I'm not going to preach about mothers. I'm going to preach about parents.
Mhm.
And he started preaching about just like you have a back, like a story to your life, your parents do too. They may have been hurt in childhood. They may have gone through something as adults, but whatever what shaped them are their experiences, and they're not going to tell you their experiences, nor do you know every experience they had.
Mm-hmm.
So here you are, shattered by your expectation of what they said or what you think you perceive that they said, and they acted out what they actually thought they meant, and then it didn't match up. And if you don't give grace, then the pain of the disappointment lasts with you. It sticks with you.
Mm.
It
Mm-hmm.
shatters your thought of them. It shatters your dream of who they are. Only
Yeah.
for you, when you finally get healed, to look back and go, whoa. I know I've had that aha moment with my own mom, because things that disappointed me in my childhood, when I got older and I experienced the same thing, I went, whoa, is that what she felt? Whoa, is
Wow.
that what she was going through? You get what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to extend that grace even in your moment of shattered.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
In your moment of shatter, you still
Uh,
have to extend grace. I
yes.
like that.
Here's the thing too. Um. Ooh, I lost my thought. Come back to me. I lost my train of thought. It was dope too.
Okay. So what I thought about when I heard that, like the imagination, that's kid, like that's innocence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Security, that's like you comfortable. You don't have to worry about anything. That's still like kid, like that's that little kid who's in a healthy family. They're secure. Everything is good. Everything is great. They believe everything their parents say because their parents have integrity. They do what they say. They're secure in everything. And then all of a sudden one day someone comes and breaks in the house and disrupts the whole security, disrupts and takes away innocence, and everything that child was, that innocence has been disrupted in a moment. That's how serious broken promises are. That's all I kept thinking about. Wow, when was the last time all three of those things were totally whole in me, where I felt secure for no
Mm.
reason? It's like I didn't even think about not being secure. Where I felt like, my imagination, oh my God, will go so wild. It was beautiful. Or the fact that I just believed. I believed you. When was the last time? When I was a child. What happened? That innocence was taken, stripped away. And then I had to live in what some people call the real world. And that real world can be a scary place.
So here it is.
Mm.
The thing is, these are certain things that, and this is why I'm gonna go this route here. This is why it's so important that we face now these disappointments,
Mm-hmm.
these unfulfilled expectations, because what happens is, what we now doing is, now we're guarding our heart,
Right.
and we're building this wall,
We're building a wall.
and
Wow.
we're
Mm-hmm.
building this wall, and this wall
Mm-hmm.
is, you said you was going to do something and you didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
You said you was going to do something and you lied. And
Mm-hmm.
this and what this does is it blocks, it blocks our view, because we're protected behind this
Wow.
wall we done built of offenses.
Yeah. Oh
So
wow.
this is why it is so important that we forgive. You
Yeah.
have to learn forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness says, it doesn't say I'm letting you off the hook.
Mm-hmm.
It says I'm going to just forget about these things that I built up
Yeah.
because you built it up.
Yeah.
So it's saying I'm going to forget. I'm forgiving you so that I can let go of these offenses and now open my eyes
To a whole world.
to
Oh
a
my
whole
God.
world, to now see. You know what? I'm going to try to have this relationship without these offenses in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us can't even get into new relationships or situations that may be healthy, because we have these walls built up. Our hearts are guarded.
Yeah.
Our hearts are guarded with brick and mortar.
Yeah,
They are
yeah.
guarded with offenses. They are guarded with mud. That they are guarded. Our eyesights are blocked with
Yeah.
broken
Offenses.
glasses and visions
Yeah.
that we've experienced in life. So forgiveness says, I'm going to forget all of that. I'm going to forget it. It ain't say I'm letting you off the hook. It says I'm letting those out of my eyesight.
Wow. I'm removing that.
I'm removing them out of my
Yeah.
view.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
And
removing
that's
it
good
out of.
because A lot of people, when it's so hard to teach forgiveness, right? Because a lot of people keep thinking, "Oh, I'm just giving them another chance to hurt me." But like you
Yeah,
just said,
exactly.
like when the Bible says, "Remember not the former things," like a lot of
Exactly.
times they're thinking about here, which is
Yeah,
true. You keep, like you said, you keep it in your eyesight, but also you're remembering. You keep
that's
putting
right.
back together the hurt.
Bringing it
You
that
keep putting it
exactly.
Wow.
back together. Keep
Yeah.
putting it
Exactly.
back together. And
Yeah.
you wonder,
Exactly.
and every time you feel crushed because you put it back together, it's going to fall back apart because it's the
For,
pain you're putting back
that's
together.
right. That's
Wow.
And
right.
Come
then you
here.
put that
Yeah.
memory back together and you feel that pain again. So you, for
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
your sake, you gotta forgive.
You
It's
gotta
not for the
forget.
other person. So
It
you
ain't
can
for
stop
them.
hurting.
And we
Yes.
have to also
Exactly.
remember forgiveness is important too, because when those offenses and when those walls are no longer in your view and that's how you see the world or that's how you see people, now your focus is not constantly on them. Do you know that I am a firm believer in we battle not with flesh and blood, but against principalities and high places and all of that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this. If I'm so always focused on making sure my heart is guarded, I don't want this to happen. I don't trust this person. I gotta, and you hyper everything. Everything is like I gotta make sure I'm protected. I'm protected. You're not giving God room to do what He does best. You're not giving him room to be the center focus of your life because everything else is in your view. You're not giving God an opportunity to heal you in those broken places because I got to hold on to this because if I forget, then I'm going to let that person do it again and I don't feel like being hurt like that no more. Or I saw that and that looked like something I went through and I ain't with the games, you know. And so we God is no longer the center of our life. And I feel like that's a little trick that the slithery serpent just eased right on in there. And we don't even realize that all of a sudden our focus is only on people and offenses and it is no longer on God. We have to be careful.
So remember, and I love what you said. You said remember. Remember, I believe, comes from the root word memory.
Yeah.
So what you're doing in your memory is you're storing the information. So when you remember it, you're rehashing it and bringing
pulling
that
it out.
information back up to now. It is now. In other words, it's the past, and you're bringing it back up to the present.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're bringing it back
That's
up.
why
So
people say you living in the past.
you're living in the past. I'm not that. I'm not him. I'm not her. That's true. Forgiveness cast into the sea of forgetfulness. That's right, on Liza.
And it's
Patricia,
not always easy. People act like life have to be easy. Nobody said, well, it ain't easy. It's not going to be easy. But you have to make a decision to do it for you.
Right.
To cut
Yeah.
the cord of the weight of that person and what they did or those people and what they did. So you don't have to be weighed down anymore because that weight is heavy on your life.
Absolutely.
You wonder why you stressed and depressed. What is pressed? Come on, think about it. That weight will press you down and now you're depressed. But listen, I'm going to skip over number 4 because we run out of time. I just want to say this last one. We don't even have to talk about it.
Okay.
Can we do a part two?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have to say we can't leave people on the operating table with the wound wide open, right?
I thought we closed it with forgiveness.
Well, that was like,
Okay.
like anesthesia. I don't know how the procedure. I don't know the
that was-
procedure, doc. It's okay. Listen, healing requires, now this is healing. Healing requires truth, not excuses. Reconciliation doesn't begin with, I didn't mean to hurt you, but with ownership. I said this. I didn't do it. I see the damage that I've caused. Healing hearts requires accountability, repentance, and sometimes boundaries, not just apologies. So yeah, forgiveness, yes, but there are other elements. I'm going to say that last part one time to close us out. Healing hearts require accountability, repentance, and sometimes boundaries, not just I'm sorry.
I also believe that, again, going back to that forgiveness piece, because I believe if you are able to forgive the person who caused the offense, then you actually even help them to now take ownership and accountability, because because it's like, you know what, I forgive you. It's cool. It's no problem. Just hey, look, just next time, just make sure you hold them accountable,
Yeah.
but you also forgive them, because
that's
sometimes what we do is
accountability and repentance.
exactly. So
That's what
because
it
sometimes what we do is we go arguing and we let them know how they made us feel, and that automatically gets to a level of shutdown, and it's like, I'm trying to go back to what you said. I'm trying. Trying to do, and a lot of times the Bible says this. It says, for the lack of knowledge, there truly are people who really don't know how to communicate the fact that they've hurt somebody, and
Right.
sometimes it's hard to communicate to a hurt person, and you hurt yourself.
And sometimes hurt people don't even realize that they're doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes you don't even realize that that's a habit that you did not like,
You
and it
didn't-
hurt you.
exactly, it
but
hurt you.
picked it up and you carried it. So, like
Right.
I said, healing requires truth, not excuses.
Yes,
Amen.
and it also
you
entails
just got to get the last word.
accountability. I know,
Like,
because this is
I
good.
come with that. It be like bang, and he's like, and
Yeah.
go ahead, Pastor Jay. It's on you, boo.
Yeah, but this is truly good. This is truly good. I mean,
It's 9:00.
I got you. We got 9:01. We got 40 seconds.
I'm the
left.
timekeeper. Y'all already know how
Not
it
you
goes
the timekeeper
down.
now. Thank you. But I want us to, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna close it out.
Okay.
I really want us to, those of you, Aunt Liza, those of you who aren't here, who are married, and just realize, and everyone on this podcast is
Who
married.
want to be married? Come on, it's some people that want to
hold
be
on,
married
wait a
that
minute,
need this.
I'm trying to finish it up.
Okay,
Let me
bring it home,
go
baby.
and
Bring it home.
And I really truly believe, especially in this hour, there is an attack on marriages.
It is.
There are a lot of marriages that are going through, and those who are guarded and covered in prayer. Let's pray for these marriages, the ones that
Amen.
we don't know, the ones that we know that are going through. Because trust me, man, the enemy is seeking whom he may devour, and for some reason at this hour he's trying to devour a lot of covenants, a lot of
Absolutely.
marriage covenants.
Absolutely.
There are people getting married without the tools, and they're not lasting, and they're not even going to God because they don't even know. So my prayers for these people who are married and are really going through trying times right now, that you turn to God. If it doesn't look like the way it should look, if it's not going, if it's even going to the divorce that you think it's going to go to, look to God. Look to God in these situations, because he's the one that can heal, and he can
And
bring it
will
back together,
heal.
and he will do it.
Yes, he'll
and he
do
will
it.
mend broken hearts, and he will help to deal with those things that have been brought in hindsight, not in hindsight, but in God's view.
In eyes view.
So
Wow.
so let's pray, y'all. It's important that we pray for
It
these.
is, definitely.
That's right.
And can I
If
say
y'all-
this one last thing? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard this today, and I want to share it. I heard this married lady say, "Me and my husband decided not to fight each other, but to fight for each other."
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
change the focus.
Absolutely.
Change the focus.
Fight with each other. That's so
I
true.
love that.
Man, that's one of my wife's and our mottos, man. We stand on each other's
I'ma
back.
fight
and
what's fighting
I'm gonna fight
you.
what's fighting you, and I'm gonna
What?
fight what's fighting you. That's right, Dad.
On
My
the
dad said, hurt
24th
people.
of January, I have to say we like the Baptists. We got like 5 closings. On the 24th of January, this Saturday, we are having Shift Real Talk panel. It's going to be a dope panel discussion. It's at what I'm looking. Which camera? Where's my camera? That's how they say. Where's my camera? All right. On the 24th of January, you have to come out to the Art Room Houston. We looking for people that we have connected with here in Houston that we always be inviting. Yes, I'm calling you out. We always invite you. You say you coming, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we talking about broken promises today. Keep your promise. Come out to the Art Room HTX on what's the name of the street?
Amita.
Alameda.
Right
The flyer is up on
5015.
right across the street from 5015. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Come on out.
What's up, Baritone?
7:00. Don't be late. We're gonna have a panel discussion, and the panelists are dope, including your girl, Lady Free.
That's right. She's so cold, man. Woo. Man, listen, man. Y'all, if y'all didn't go see,
Babe,
I'm sorry.
it's past our time. That was supposed to be the last closing.
You know what? When I talking about somebody else, you see how she got bang. But if I said, come see Lady Free, she would have been like,
oh, he is not telling the truth. I am not arrogant like that. But come see me. Come see me. this weekend,
I'll be
Saturday, 7:00, the art room.
Ernie, baritone, you better be talking about you think you coming. Bye. All right, baritone.
Hey, until next week, same bad channel, same bad place. Don't forget to subscribe. Shift Real Talk TV. I'm your girl, Lady Free.
I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And
I'm Zany. Yeah.
that's it for today. Peace.
Thanks for watching.